Hi guys, it's Megan. This video is coming to you a little late. I meant for it to be out Wednesday or Thursday, but have you ever had a migraine that lasted for like 2 days? Because I did, and that sucked so bad. I was in bed in the dark, just trying not to cry in pain. It was terrible. But it's gone now. And I wanted to put out a quick video. Well, I mean for it to be quick, but let's be real, it's me, so I'll probably ramble. But I wanted to put out a quick book-related review type video, kind of for Valentine's Day. And if any of you watched my video from last year, that pertained to love and romance and Valentine's Day, you might recall me saying that I'm not a huge fan of Valentine's Day. I just don't find it romantic. I know other people love it, and if you like it, hey, you do you. That's you. I'm just not a big fan of it personally. But it is a good opportunity to talk about romance. And as I've said before, I'm not a big reader of romance novels per se. I mean, the books I read often have a romantic element somewhere in them. You know, the main character falls in love, or there's some kind of situation going on, but that's not the main focus of the story. Because that to me is, not that there aren't great modern day romances out there, but that feels one-dimensional to me. I like there to be a lot more going on than just the relationship. But anyway, so I thought I would do a little bit of a throwback and talk about Jane Austen. And I'm not going to go into detail about every story and how much I love this character and how much I love that character and everything, because quite frankly, there are film adaptations of every single book if you don't want to read the book. And the books are easily obtainable at any bookstore. Basically, you can get them. I myself, right here, have a giant book from Barnes & Noble, and it's the complete works of Jane Austen, and it's quite lovely. I also have the Shakespeare and the Edgar Allan Poe version of this, because why not? It saves a lot of room on your bookshelf when it's all bound together like this. But I wanted to talk about, more specifically, the kind of love that we read about in Jane Austen books. And it seems to me that the more I read Jane Austen, the older I am when I read Jane Austen, the message that's coming across to me most specifically is, you can't really love someone until you really know and understand who they are. And I think that this is something that wasn't just true in Jane Austen's day, it's true now. You need to know someone inside and out before you can really love them at the deepest level possible. I mean, I love the antiquated feel of Jane Austen, you know, the old world Victorian sort of vibe, not the innocence of it, because there's definitely sexual tension between a lot of the characters. We don't see it played out, but that's okay. But the thing that I love most about Jane Austen is not that it's classic romance, but that it's so applicable today. You know, if we look at a story like Pride and Prejudice, for example, Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth, when they first meet, don't like each other very much. She thinks he's arrogant and kind of a dick, and he thinks that she's, you know, silly and kind of ridiculous, and he falls in love with her, and she falls in love with him in the course of the book in this way that sort of they don't realize the depth of their emotions until they really know each other deeply. You know, when Darcy first tells Elizabeth that he's in love with her, he tells her, you know, you're this and you're that, and I love you in spite of all of that. And it's like, oh, how big of you. That's nice. But then, you know, later on in the book, it's kind of like he loves her not in spite of all these things that he were saying were wrong with her. He loves her because of all these things, because all of these things make her who she is. And she, through her meetings with him, learns what kind of man he really is. He's not arrogant, he's shy, and he just doesn't know how to handle himself sometimes, and he says the wrong thing because he doesn't think clearly. And they learn about each other. They grow to know one another. We see this in another book too, in Sense and Sensibility. Marianne falls in love with Mr. Willoughby, and it's kind of a shame because she doesn't know him as well as she thinks she does, and she gets her heart broken because of it. Meanwhile, Colonel Brandon, who's in love with her because he understands the kind of person that she is, waits for her to figure out, okay, you're older than me, but I can love you because you're a good man. I understand now who you are, and that what you are is more important than flights of fancy that she had with Willoughby. It's just, it's such a recurring theme, and I think it's something that doesn't get talked about enough in modern day romance in that I've read, in that, you know, it's kind of like you fall in love and you kind of fall in love immediately, or it's this cosmic bond that pulls you together, and yes, that's awesome, that's fun, that can happen, but the real deep abiding love that we find in Jane Austen, I think, is more romantic and more loving than any other love story. That it feels more real, and it feels more lasting. These are relationships that you see will endure and will work, and it's the kind of thing that I aspire to in terms of, you know, falling in love with someone. I want to know them inside and out, as Jane Austen characters learn to know each other inside and out. That's really all I wanted to say. Sorry, this was kind of all over the place. It's been a very long time since I filmed, and a very long time since I filmed by myself, and as some of you may know, I can't edit my videos, so any ridiculousness or pauses I can't really edit out, so sorry about that. But I hope you liked what I had to say about Jane Austen. Next week we'll be talking about a specific book series. We're going to be talking about the Throne of Glass book series, which, guys, so good. Okay, I'm not going to get into it because that's next week. But I'm very excited for it, so I hope you're excited for it too. And I just want to say that for me, Valentine's Day, like I said, not a big deal. I kind of treat it like any other day. But if you're in a relationship and you like Valentine's Day, you know, go to town. But if you're not in a relationship and you feel like Valentine's Day is hard for you, I get it. I understand. It sucks having a day that kind of points out that you're not with anybody. Not that there's anything wrong with being single. But if it bothers you that you're single on Valentine's Day, there are a lot of things you can do to combat that. You could get your single friends together and have a movie night. Or you could maybe get a massage or a mani-pedi or something to indulge yourself. Or if you can't afford that, you could, give yourself a facial at home, take a nice long bubble bath. Valentine's Day is supposed to be about love. So if you don't have someone else in your life, a significant other, a romantic partner, love yourself. Do something to show yourself how much you love you, because you are worth loving. we're all worth loving. Love. Love, love. So, again, that's all I have to say. I've missed you guys. I'm really excited to start talking about some more books with you. And feel free to read Throne of Glass in anticipation of next week. You don't have to, but you're all probably going to want to after we talk about it because so good. So, I'll see you next week. And I hope you had or have a lovely Valentine's Day. Bye.